So as of today's reset, a new event's going to launch called Past is Prologue. So the background footage is just footage that I have. The game is offline right now, so I just figured this is a good time to tell people what to spend their tokens on. So the Past is Prologue, let me just give you a brief description of exactly what you're doing today with this. Starting on January 21st, you can visit the Drifter to pick up quests that will reward a special currency called Bento tokens. These tokens can be exchanged for some if we do see ourselves pretty snazzy rewards over at Eris. Throughout the event, you'll have a chance to earn a total of 8 Bento tokens, so spend them wisely and make them count. And then then it's going to show you the rewards. So this video is going to be going through, as a player, what should you spend your tokens on. Now, this all depends on who you are and how long you play Destiny 2. This absolutely counts. It depends on what you've got as well. So for new lights, their spend is different to intermediate players, and intermediate players have a different spend to what maybe an advanced player would spend it on. You could argue an advanced player doesn't need any of this. Probably, but let's go through it. So let me just tell you all of the costs for each material. There'll be pictures on the screen, and then I'll give the advice for each type of player as we go on. So first up is currency. You can get 2 Ascendant Alloys for 1 Bento. Remember, it's 8 tokens max. You cannot farm this event. It's not a farmable event. It just means that you can get 8 tokens. Once you spend your 8 tokens, that's it. You're done. You are done, son. That's it. So I think that's a bad move. Just let people farm their tokens. Why are they being so stingy in this way as well? You know, they're doing a decent thing here with this event. It's a 2-week. So even if it was farmable, ain't people going to be able to farm that many tokens in that amount of time? So it should have been farmable. Why wasn't it? I don't get it. Anyways, the materials. Ascendant Alloy. 2 Ascendant Alloys for 1 token. 2 Ascendant Shards for 1 token. 1 Exotic Cipher for 1 token. Spoils of Conquest. 1 bundle of 25 spoils for 1 token. You can get a maximum of 3 stacks. So you can't just spend all 8 tokens on Spoils of Conquest. You can get a max of 75 Spoils of Conquest for 3 tokens. Items. Mementos. Gambit Memento, Vanguard Memento, Iron Banner, Festival of Lost, Dawning, Guardian Games, Solstice. They are all 1 Bento token each. Weapons and Armor. Cloud Strike. You get Cloud Strike, if you don't have it, for 3 tokens it costs. Nearly half of the amount of tokens you can acquire in this event cost for Cloud Strike. Cataphract GL3 Adept. The god roll you'll see the picture on screen. I'll talk more at length about this and why it's important. Igneous Hammer, also another god roll. These are 1 tokens each, by the way. Not 2, not 3, 1. Horror's Least, 1 token for a god roll there. That's PvP based. Riptide, a god roll which is not Adept. That was a typo. They said it was Riptide Adept last week. It's not. There's not such a thing as Adept Riptide, which there should be. Why isn't there be? Why isn't there? There should be. Anyways, that's 1 token for a god roll there. And finally, armor. You can farm armor in this event. Well, not really. You can kind of farm it. Each armor piece for Hunter, Titan, Warlock is 2 tokens each for a high stat roll. We can already focus armor in the game anyways, but it is artifice armor, and that is valuable, and I'll talk at length about that. Also, there's the Chatterwhite shader. Just to mention this, and to make it even sweeter, once you have turned in 5 Bento tokens, you'll gain access to something as precious and pale as the moon. That's right, Chatterwhite. So there you go. There's the Chatterwhite thing that after 5 spends. So you need to spend 5 anyways if you want that shader. I will say, though, there's plenty of white shaders in the game already that sort of look like what Chatterwhite does anyways. But it is nice nonetheless. Okay, so for newer players, what does New Lights want to spend their tokens on? Well, you certainly don't want to spend it on currency. Bento tokens is a limited time resource, so you want to spend it out to help you get your gains. As a newer player, you're going to be lacking on Spoils of Conquest because you more than likely don't raid or have raid a few times. Now, if you do not have Anarchy bought from the Monument, that is your priority, and you need Spoils of Conquest to buy Anarchy. Therefore, speeding up the process to get to Anarchy as a new light is very important. I recommend that you probably do spend some materials on Spoils of Conquest for new lights. This is for new lights. Because anarchy is so important to the game. It really is, honestly. And yeah, they might nerf it in the future. So what? They might buff it again, though. And they've buffed and nerfed and buffed and nerfed it over the years loads of times. That's your first priority. Don't be spending on Ascendant Alloys, Ascendant Shards. You know, you don't need to spend any of that. Maybe Ciphers. New lights as well, maybe Ciphers, because Cipher will give you an access to an exotic that you don't already have. Okay? So if there's any that you need, if you need a Cipher or two, it's not a bad idea to spend on that. But there are ways to get Ciphers in the game via Xur, but albeit not a very quick method. And there is a way to pop bottles. You can pop a bottle and get an exotic Cipher and sort of farm it like that. So there is that, but I do think Cipher, yeah. Ascendant Shards, no. Ascendant Alloys, no. There's easy methods to get both Ascendant Shards and Ascendant Alloys. Okay, Mementos. As a new light player, you don't want to spend on any of these. Shaders should not be your priority as a new player, please. We're 2025, shaders should not... There's many, many shaders in this game, albeit very good ones, that are from the Eververse store for Brightest. So I honestly don't think that you need to be doing this. Depends who you are and what you're about. But yeah, I don't think that at all. Okay, this is where, so new light player, should you buy your tokens for Cloud Strike? Cloud Strike's a very powerful weapon in PvE. It is a good weapon. But being honest, you know, you can easily get this from Empire Hunts. I don't know what the drop rates are on that, and some clever person down below will know. I'm just saying, look, I mean, I got Cloud Strike many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and it didn't take me that many times to get it. Yeah, you get it from Empire Hunts. I guess because Empire Hunts are a lot harder than what they used to be now, because they basically got buffed by the adept version of the Empire Hunts having champs, whereas the old version didn't have champs. When I did it, there was no champs. So you would farm the lowest difficulty of Empire Hunts to get Cloud Strike over and over and over and over. That's exactly what I did. That was way back when. I don't think it's worth the 3 tokens for Cloud Strike, because we're not in exactly a sniper rifle meta right now. Doesn't mean to say that we won't be, though, in the future. So I think try and farm your Empire Hunts. If you don't need anything else on this list as a new light player, then maybe spend, maybe. But I don't think it's the absolute priority. I think Anarchy is much more of a priority than Cloud Strike as a new light player. All right, so I think you should buy this Cataphract GL3. I think everybody should. If you don't have one single Cataphract, you should buy it. The god roll is Linear Compensator, Alloy Caisson, Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch, Velocity Masterwork. Well, that's the roll that they're offering. I'm not saying it's the absolute best in slot roll for that GL, but I don't even have it because I don't play Trials. So for people who do not play Trials, you need to pick this up. It's only 1 token out of 8, so I'm picking this up. I've been using Edge Transit, I've been using Chill Inhibitor, so it's just going to add to my arsenal that I pick this up and store it in my vault. It absolutely goes in the vault. All right, I think everybody should get this if you have not got the roll. And yeah, because it's got different origin traits. It's a Trials weapon. It's maybe a little bit different to what Edge Transit offers. It's maybe a little different to what Chill Inhibitor does, for example. And it's a new weapon skin. It's a bait and switch GL with a new weapon skin. Basically, you know, it does the same, just very similar things to what an Edge Transit will do. All right, Igneous Hammer. So if you're a PvP enthusiast, you pick it up for sure, probably. I'm not PvP, I'm not going to pretend to know about PvP to a high degree either. I'm just saying, look, it's a weapon there. I don't like the Igneous Hammer, I'll be honest. Maybe because I'm predominantly a PvE player. I feel as though it's a slow weapon. I don't like high impact hand cannons in PvE, just the way they feel. They're far too slow in PvE. That's just my PvE take on it. So I doubt I'll even pick this up. Maybe, maybe not. Horror's Least. This is a PvP weapon as well. Horror's Least, I'm not a massive fan on that weapon either. The frame of the pulse just isn't for me. So again, if you're a PvP enthusiast, you pick it up. But if you're all about PvE, you can skip this roll. You can really skip that kill clip roll. There's so much better. The Jolt and Feedback pulse rifle everybody got this season's miles better than Horror's Least in PvE. Okay, Riptide. So Riptide, as a new player, you need to pick this up. If you have not got a chill clip Riptide, then you need to pick it up with Compulsive Reloader and Chill Clip. Now, I've got a better roll than this, My roll's field prep chill clip. So technically I have a better roll on than what is on offer right here. So I'm still going to pick up this one because I haven't got a compulsive reloader one. And I know it's not as good. It's not as good as field prep. Field prep is better than this. But I'm going to still pick it up because it's just so important of a weapon. So yeah, I just want to try this roll out. That's as simple as that. And then you've got the armors. So yeah, as a new light, yeah, you maybe want to spend only on one character maybe, right? Because it's costly this. So if you're Titan main, maybe try rolling one to roll the dice. Maybe. You know, because how high of the stat roll will it be? Will it be just a standard 66 stat roll? If it's just a standard 66 roll, you know, is it worth it that much? I guess so. It's Artifice Armor. That allows you to put an extra mod in there. So you can put a minor mod on top of a full mod, as in resilience, recovery, etc. So there is that. So that's what I recommend on new light players. Right, let's go to more intermediate players. Intermediate players are not going to want to spend anything on materials, no currency at all. Why would you spend a limited currency like Bento tokens on a currency that's widely available in the game? Again, with ciphers, you can get them quite easy. I would guess maybe build up some cipher stacks if you're too lazy to farm right now on the ciphers, because ciphers are important in the game later on when we need new exotic armor pieces from Rahul. So ciphers are important for future. So you need, is it 5 stacks? Some D2 mathematician down below can say, I think it's 5 stacks you can get. So maybe think about upping your cipher count if you're too lazy to go and farm it in game, which you can farm them via bottle pop. Bottles, the exotic bottles can give you the ciphers. So there is that. It depends. If you don't want anything else on the list at all and nothing interests you, maybe just spend some on ciphers. Spoils, have a look at your spoils, have a look at what your materials are. Maybe you need to pad out your spoils a little bit. If you want to, you can do that as an intermediate player. Intermediate players should not be spending anything on mementos at all. PvE players should not be doing it. Only if you don't need anything on this list at all and you're max stack on your ciphers, you've got all the exotics, you've got all the armor in the world that you want, then only then would you spend this. Right, Cloud Strike, intermediate players will all have Cloud Strike. If you're an intermediate player without Cloud Strike, that means that you're not an intermediate player. That means you're basically a new light. So, you know, you need to question yourself on what you're doing, why you haven't got Cloud Strike. You should already have it. Okay? Intermediate players should be getting the Adept Cataphract roll if you have not got that roll. Even if you've got a God Roll Edge Transit, you still pick this up because it's a different origin trait on it. It's got different things going on about it. So it's that important to the game that you pick it up. If you've already got it though, then obviously you wouldn't need to. Igneous Hammer, I mean for PvE mains you can skip. As a PvP enthusiast you pick up I suppose, if you haven't got. Horror's Least, same thing, not crazy about this weapon in PvE. The Jolt and Feedback Pulse Rifle will do everything that you want it to do. This gun's not it for PvE. Riptide, you pick it up if you haven't got this roll. Even if you've got a chill clip Riptide, you still pick it up as an intermediate just to check what it's like with Compulsive Reloader. They may buff Compulsive Reloader as well in the future. They may change the way it operates. They may nerf Field Prep. If you've got a Field Prep chill clip Riptide, what if they nerf Field Prep in the future? Then we need to go to Compulsive Reloader. You see how I'm trying to future-proof it? Hell, they might even nerf chill clip in the future. I think they will eventually, you know, because everybody's chasing chill clip rolls now, and I think they're cottoning on to it with Tenacious Mastery. Eventually, you know, they'll just nerf chill clip, and then everything I've told you right now today will be pointless. It will absolutely happen at some point. Won't be this year, might be next. We don't know. Nobody knows. I don't think they know until they think about it. Right. Armor, as intermediate players, you want to spend on some of this. Providing that you've got everything else in order, your cipher counts in order, you've got your god rolls, maybe pick one class only. Whatever your main is, pick it. Pick the armor for. So if you're a hunter main, maybe focus 1 or 2 rolls. If the rolls are bad though, don't spend your entire currency on this. Because, you know, if there's any bugs at all with this where you're getting 56 stat rolls, then it's not worth it, man. You can get so much, Armor's widely available. Not only that, they're going to rework armor stats, people. You're all going to have to re-farm up armor in June, I guarantee it. The last time that we had an armor conversion from 1.0 to 2.0, it was a mess. All our armor got converted to bad stats and everyone had to start again. You are going to have to start your armor grind again anyways. Now, I don't know how they're going to convert armor in June. That has not been talked about, exactly what they're going to do. But I'm just saying, look, whatever you get now in the game, you're going to need to regrind Artifice armor anyways. Don't be ignorant to that fact. Everyone seems to be forgetting about the rework in June with armor. They are reworking stats. They will have to convert our old armor to the new armor, or our old armor gets deleted. I doubt they'll delete our old armor though. It'll be more than likely that they convert our old armor to the new stats. Alright, that's intermediate players. Advanced players, what do you lot do? Well, advanced players are still going to want the Chatawhite shader, so you need to spend 5 tokens somehow, and advanced players assume that you have everything on this list just about. Right? So at that point, an advanced player has limited options on what they exactly buy. Even an advanced player might lack the God Roll Cataphract. If you lack that, right, then buy that. If your spoils is a little, I mean, an advanced player's probably got max stack spoils, so chances are you don't need to spend that either. But say you're lacking 50 spoils, all right, buy two bundles. If you're maybe lazy on the raiding because you're not playing that much, maybe same thing. But like, don't be spending tokens on alloys and shards though. But an advanced player will more than likely have max stacks of those as well. So an advanced player might be looking just to get mementos and put mementos in their guns. Is the Trials memento on here? The Trials memento is not on there. Why have they not done that? That's the best memento in the game. They haven't got the Trials. See, that's the only memento that I'd be interested in, like, actually spending a token on, because of the rest of them don't even look that good. I don't like any of the mementos. Only the Trials Golden one looks good. The rest of them don't even look good enough. So that is a shame. So advanced players, yeah, you buy your Cataphract if you haven't already got it. Your Riptide if you haven't got it, but as an advanced player you should have it. But I will say, even if you've got a Chill Clip roll, you get this one as well, just in case. I will say though, it's very easy to focus Riptide at the PvP vendor, but if you're a PvE main that's bored of PvP and can't be bothered to go in there like me, I honestly, anytime I go into PvP, I feel as though I'm aging myself. I feel as though, I'm wasting my time. I could be doing stuff in PvE. If you're somebody like that, then yeah, buy the Riptide if you haven't got that particular role. Because, hey, they might nerf things in the future, like Field Prep might get nerfed. You don't know. We don't know any of that stuff. So yeah, I guess the advanced players, your main best bet is to focus some Artifice armor on lagging pieces, on certain characters. But remember, like I said, the disclaimer, June is coming, and when June happens, or whenever Frontiers launches, that is when they'll rework the armor and you'll have to then start the grind again. They will definitely make it the incentive that you need to refarm armor up, because if you've already got all the Godroll armor right now, right, and they convert all that Godroll armor to the new standardized stats and it just equals a 1-to-1 ratio of Godroll, then there's no point for you to refarm. All that would have happened is that Bungie has reworked the stats for you and you're good. It won't be like that. They need more players now more than ever. And I know it doesn't sound good to refarm armor up in June, but there comes a point where you probably we need to do that as players in this game. Everybody talks about the Godroll Pursuit for weapons, but nobody talks about the Godroll Pursuit for armor. Make armor a Godroll Pursuit as well. The discussion shouldn't just be, well, have you got the Godroll for this gun? Have you got the Godroll for that one? What about your armor? Armor's a very important thing to the game. The way you look, the stat distributions is very important to buildcrafting right now in the game. Just staying alive. You need tier 10 Resil to just stay alive in the game, to be on the standard level. But you need to back that tier 10 result up with good discipline, good recovery, and so on and so forth, depending on what class that you're on. So yeah, like the discussion shouldn't just be about God roll weapons anymore. It should be, what about God roll armor? Can I farm God roll armor in any particular way that's meaningful to the game? And yeah, you can farm armor via master dungeons, but people don't do it. They only farm artifice armor when there's a bug. When there was the cheese with duality, or the cheese with Ghost of the Deep, where you could farm artifice armor, that's when people like doing it. So I think there needs to be more ways in the game on how we can farm artifice armor, all right, going forward. I'm not calling for to make it too easy, though, because then that will bore players out. It absolutely will, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's my advice for the advanced, intermediate, newer players on what you should spend on the tokens. Now that I read into it and look into it, the event doesn't sound or look as good as I initially thought now that I'm actually thinking about it, because we can't farm the tokens. So your max token count is 8. It should have just been unlimited, in my opinion. If they can change this before the event ends, that would be nice. Maybe, ask other players what they think. You should just be able to farm it. And also, the list isn't as long as I thought as well. There should be more. Why is Tenacious Mastery not on here? After the scandal with Tenacious Mastery being available via the Iron Banner vendor for free at rank 4 for players who never prestiged, that is absolute jokes, that. Because I have farmed Iron Banner to never get the God roll. I only ever got offhand strike chill clip. Never did I ever get air trigger, not one time. And as a PvE player, my patience thinned with Iron Banner very quickly. Now to learn that you can pick it up if you didn't play Iron Banner originally really does rub salt in people's wounds. So that should have been on the list. Tenacious Mastery, air trigger chill clip should have been there as a sort of a thing to say, oh sorry, we messed up last week. We messed up with the vendor thing. That was an absolute joke that he was just offering that. It was. Because that's mainly what people are doing in Iron Banner. They're not wanting to farm Iron Banner per se. It's Tenacious Mastery. Don't make no mistake. There's not that many good weapons in Iron Banner for PvE. I know. I've looked at each and every one roll. The LMG is interesting. The Stasis LMG. That's about it, dude. There ain't nothing that's absolutely goated in there. Don't make no mistake about that. So yeah, Tenacious Mastery should have been on here. That would have went a long way, I think. Make it 2 tokens if they wanted it. Doesn't matter. At least then it's widely available and they can learn from, how we can farm weapons in PvP-based stuff. Because the way we farm weapons in PvP does alienate PvE players quite a lot. And it stops us from going in there. It stops us from going in there. Especially, who wants to play a full week of PvP just to maybe get a roll of what you might want? Like, I want Randy's. I want Randy's throwing knife, good shot straight, connect tremors. I can't get it. So are you asking me as a PvE player to dedicate 20-30 hours playtime to PvP in 1 week? Is that what you're asking me? There's no determined number because it's RNG. You're looking at 1 to 2% drop rates of exact god rolls that you want. It's not good enough. If you want to incentivize people to play PvE, especially, PvP, PvE players in particular, then make it a little bit easier to get god rolls, because all the PvP weapons particularly have multiple perks in each column 1 and 2, making it harder to get what you want. So, yeah, it's just like Randy's throwing knife should have been on here as well. Good shot straight, connect tremors, best scout rifle in the game. Legendary-wise, best legendary scout in the game. Hey, that could be on here. So they could have done more with this. But, it is what it is. That's what the event is. That was the video on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.